What's going on? The first one, Noor Hassan, welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks for the first comment, first viewer. Nick, Stewart, I felt like almost everything you said was straight from my head today in that premiere. Adam, typically someone. Will, Robert, Aaron, and everyone else who's coming. Welcome. Athena is still with us. Athena, what a wonderful, wonderful audition. First opening line. I was like, oh, really loved it. What did you guys think? While Athena's here, you get to talk to an actual contestant. Penny, hello. Stuart, Jilly Bear, Shane, Audrey, that's so jazzy. Whoa, Stuart, gifted 5 memberships. I don't even know what that means. I know you've given it, and I think other people receive it. Is it literally just like a free-for-all, and these people just grab it? That's wild. Hey, Mom. Thank you, Stuart. Just a freaking king of kings over here. Wow, it really does work that way? Oh, it automatically assigns. How interesting. Well, if you guys just got it from the gift that is Stuart, make sure you jump on the live Q&A watch party next week. It'd be fun to have you guys. Athena says, I have been a fan of yours for years. Hocus Pocus. So grateful for you and other people. So grateful you and other people liked it. Very, very kind. We have our first super chat of the live stream. If you want to ask questions to me or have me read your super chat, if it's a statement, you have to send it as a super chat like Brittany just did. That's the $ next to where you would type your message. You can donate any amount and I will answer no matter what, even if I have to go past 8 o'clock Eastern time. So let's begin. Brittany, I think the ragu thing was completely scripted. The friend and her probably don't even know each other, LOL. A low moment for Idol for me, though. Let's talk about that just a little bit. Let me just first talk about that, address Brittany's thought here. I think ragu thing was completely scripted. I am leaning toward it being scripted. I also know that it's possible it wasn't. It's possible that ragu just knew that she could do that and they'd be down. I'm leaning toward that it was scripted, though. Her friend and her probably don't know each other. I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure they are best friends. I think they said they roomed together. I bet they do. I bet all of that is true. Because it takes just too many people to lie to pull that off. And it'd be a bigger story that would be a bigger blow to Idol than the reward of the story that they were best friends. I just don't think that part's not. I think that part's real. I have many more things to say about that. A lot of people are saying, Alyssa, it was premeditated. It was premeditated. It was premeditated. That was her plan all the time. The only reason that the premeditation that you guys think that's so bad is because Julia didn't make it. Think about how the story would drastically change if it was premeditated and Alyssa walked in and congratulated her friend who just made it. Let's say Julia made it through. And then Alyssa was like, can I sing too? I mean, I haven't sung for you guys a long time, And then she makes it. Completely different story. So the fact that it was premeditated is not an indictment on her character, in my opinion. If you want to say there's something wrong with what she did, it's not the fact that it was premeditated. It was the fact that she followed through even when her friend didn't make it. Now that's something we can talk about. I don't necessarily agree with that line of thinking. It's pretty sticky though. It's not a good look. Alyssa did make a comment. She did make a post on Instagram that said like, "So happy to be on Idol again" or something. And then it said, "You know what? Let me just find it. I'll just read it to you." As I worship your majesty. My wife Janley just texted me and said I liked and subscribed. It's very nice. All right, let's find this. Okay. Definite reading here. This is Alyssa's Instagram post with this picture. She says, "Definitely a bittersweet moment. What they didn't show was me constantly begging Julia to come on the show with me. But unfortunately, the judges said no. Being able to grow up on the show is something so special to my heart. I want to say thank you. Huge thank you to Julia for true friendship and incredible memories. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode." So, a lot of you guys were saying in the premiere, I can't believe, or maybe I was just watching this on Instagram comments. I can't believe she didn't try harder, or like petition the judges to let Julia go through. Apparently she did, just wasn't in the edit. So I have fallen victim to making giant, definitive judgments on the edit, which is not quite accurate. It's not an accurate way to make judgment. Was it a little weird? Yes. Did it feel a little slimy? Yes. Was it wrong? I don't know. Because again, if she would have made it, then everything would be fine. No one would be like, I can't believe she. If Julia would have made it, they'd be like, oh my gosh, now she's gonna sing and they're going together. But because she didn't, it's a bit of a different narrative. And again, it's because she followed through. That's why. If you have a question you want to ask me, you can put it in the super chat and I will answer it. We have until 8 o'clock, which is 22 more minutes. And then I have to run to a rehearsal thing. And I will go late as long as there are super chats to answer. We've got 95 people here. That's a pretty good number. I appreciate y'all being here. I tell you what, since last week was a train wreck and we didn't get to do this live Q&A, I'll start from the top and I'll start answering questions as a gift to you guys because of the giant fail last week was, and there was no Q&A. So we'll answer some of these questions starting from the top. Again, if you want your question answered immediately, you can send a super chat and I'll answer that question immediately. Let's make sure it's a live chat, not just the top chat. Okay. Much love from Canada. Thanks. That's so jazzy. I'm in Canada right now. Clark, would you ever do a Beckham breakdown video on Christina Grimmie from The Voice? I'm not opposed. I remember her. She's awesome. This is Jim Baldwin from New Hope. Hey, Jim. Good to see your name. Looking for questions. Would you help rearrange and reharmonize original song as part of audition prep? Asking for a friend. Rachel Slay. Absolutely. That's my all-time favorite thing to do. That's all I want to do when I'm doing these things. So absolutely, yes, I would do that. Penny, same for you. Looking for questions. Doesn't Idol have a rule that you can't come back if you've been in the top 10 or 20 a prior year? So, my research analyst, in other words, my mother, looked into that for me. And she said there was a rule, at least in season 4. They made a rule that if you made the top 10, you could not return as an idol contestant on another season. You can't. If you make top 10, it's done. She made top 8, she's back. So, like I said in the video, it's their show. They can do whatever they want. They can change rules however they want to change them, whenever they want to change them. But in the previous seasons, yes, that was a rule from what I understand. Do you move to Canada full time? No. I still live in Nashville. I just travel back and forth during the college semester. Kimberly asks, do you think the judges really remembered Alyssa specifically, or were they prepped by the producers? It seemed like it would be difficult to remember every contestant from every year. I probably think both. I think they remembered her because she was on twice, 2 seasons, and she made top 10 on one of those seasons. So I definitely believe that they remembered her. But also, the producers would be doing their due diligence if they knew she was coming, be like, hey, let them know, hey, Alyssa's coming. $10 super chat from Aaron Coughlin. Thank you, Aaron. Clark, is it possible that Alyssa's and her friends' auditions were edited in such a way that it would cause a lot of people to grumble and bring more attention to the show? Yes, of course. What we really have to think about is what is the best for the show? What does the show benefit from people grumbling? I think they benefit most. This is just me thinking. I think they would benefit most from us falling in love with the contestants that are going through, so that we continue to watch for those contestants and root for them, rather than not like a contestant. But I don't hold that belief ironclad. I don't know if that's the case or not. Great question. $5 super chat. Why do you think Katie said Alyssa couldn't win? Well, I can tell you why she won't win this public opinion issue with how she just got in. But 2, the actual question is, why did Katie say that? I think maybe she already saw her peak, and if she didn't make it then, she doesn't think that she's going to make it in this pool of singers. Maybe just vocally she doesn't think she's there. But I would guess that Katie thinks, like, hey, we saw your peak already at top 8, and are you giving us anything new, or are you just as good as you were then? I don't think you could win. Maybe that's her line of thinking. What else? All right, let's go back up. Oh, we've got some super chats going. We got a bunch. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Philip Evans, $5 super chat. Thank you, Philip. If that's out of the goodness of your heart, bless you. If you meant to ask a question with that, I'll be looking for your name and I'll answer any question that you say. But if it's out of the goodness of your heart, thank you very much. $10 super chat from Diane Riley. Does Idol research backstories after preliminary auditions? It seems to be so much pulling at their heartstrings instead of just judging on talent. Idol absolute Idol knows your backstory before the preliminary auditions. And then afterwards, if they really like you, they'll shoot some B-roll. That's when you see and a contestant's coming to audition, and then before they sing, there's footage of them in their hometown, catching chickens. It's like, how did you guys get there? That's because they take contestants that do well and that they like, and then they'll go do extra stuff with them to show them in their hometown and get people to like them. Most of the time, those people get top 24. I had a little bit of that. I got some extra B-roll as a street performer. So they knew before I auditioned or when I auditioned, and then, of course, they researched into it even more afterwards. Thanks for that super chat. Going back up to the questions. If you have a question you want me to answer immediately, send a super chat, and I will. Also, your question will 100% be answered if you do a super chat, and I won't get off of this live stream until all of them are answered. We've got 13 minutes left, by the way. Do you remember Aiden Martin from the X Factor? I don't. Who sang an original many years back. He reminds me so much of Michael Rice. Excuse me. No, I don't remember. Athena asks, if I wanted to re-audition in a couple years, what kind of audition coaching do you offer? Would you recommend I go jazzy or poppy? We would definitely work on that in the audition. I definitely hear both. My main thing that I really focus on with Idol audition prep is, what is your thing that you do better than everybody else? What sets you apart? That is your best ticket into American Idol and also a career in music. Sometimes what sets you apart, you as in one, what sets one apart the most doesn't line up with what American Idol thrives on. Julia would be an example of that. Very David Bowie rockery. That's not what Idol does. Doesn't mean she wasn't great. If David Bowie auditioned for American Idol, he would have probably been in the joke audition segment. If Mick Jagger auditioned for Idol, he'd probably be laughed at. Tons of incredibly successful, brilliant artists doing their thing in their career that made them so successful. If they did that thing on Idol, they wouldn't. Now, in your case, Athena, okay, couple thoughts. One, I think career-wise, your thing is the jazz, smooth, sweet vocal with an extension of a little extra frosting of big belting notes, because you were hitting some of those belting notes at the end of that song. Never enough. Those were clean. So that means everything's there. It just has to get worked on. And so you could have those. For Idol, if you were to audition, you would probably need to, instead of be jazz primary and then a little belting tastes, probably need to bring those together and even them out. Then you could be like Catherine McPhee, is who I'm thinking of. $10 super chat from Stuart. If you could run a camp, I actually want to do this. If you could run a camp that preps people for life before, not this extent, but I like this, that preps people for life before, during, and after the competition, what's the best advice about the experience you can give them? If you could run a camp that preps people for life before, during, and after the competition, what's the best advice? A a lot of the advice would only apply to one of those tenses, one of those timelines. So I'll do a little piece for each. For life before going on the show, learn as many songs as you can. That's my best advice. I was told that by a producer when I auditioned. Learn as many songs as you possibly can from now till Hollywood Week, because that muscle is a muscle that needs to be strong and ready to go if you're going to go far. I only learned one song out of the like 20 that I sang on the show. Everyone else was learning a new song every week. I learned so many, and I'd planned and was so prepared that every song that I sang on the show, I had already practiced before Hollywood Week started and had the arrangement ready to go. Except for like one or two songs kind of came during the show. Be grateful and don't complain. Be grateful and don't complain. Be grateful and do not complain would be my advice. When you are on the show, you've got both parties. You've got people who are excited to be there and are troopers, and then you've got people who are just waiting for an opportunity to complain. Why are we in this line? This line is so long. They want this line to be long. They want us to, they don't care about us. They just care about their ratings. They want us to get little sleep. They want us to hate each other. That's what they care about. That's Hollywood. People are waiting just to go there. And it's very easy to just join them because it takes responsibility off yourself and it makes you a victim. And a victim can be an attractive place to be for the self-conscious. So don't complain. After the show, get going. And at the same time, you've got more time than you think. People think right after the show, they got to jump on their career immediately, or it's going to be gone in a week. It's not going to be gone in a week. It's not going to be gone in a month. It's not going to be gone in a year. It'll still be there. All the opportunity will still be there. Really, it's just now you got to start flapping your wings as hard as you can. When before you're at the top of a mountain, the mountain's disappeared now, the infrastructure that Idol is, you're up there. Now you got to start flapping your wings and learn to fly. Learn to fly. Good question. Who was your favorite Idol audition ever? $5 super chat. Thank you. Who's your favorite Idol audition ever and why? Catherine McPhee is my favorite Idol audition ever. I remember it, and I remember it playing in the living room of my house and watching as a kid, and just I'm not understanding a single word she said, but loving it so much. The way that she approached it, her belting that came out of nowhere, the runs that came along with it, the softness, everything was unreal. She's my favorite audition ever. Let's see. What was the last question that I was answering? I'll just find a random one. We've got 5 more minutes. So if you have a question that you want me to answer, hit it in the super chat. I won't leave the super chat. I won't leave this live stream until every super chat question is answered. For now, we've got Allison. Doesn't Idol have a rule that you can't come back if... Oh, I did actually already ask and answer that. Go down a little more. Here we go. Judging by the thumbnail, I'm guessing you're just as upset as I was about the sing louder. Yes, it's incredibly annoying. I would like, let's see. Oh, Philip Evans, $5 super chat. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at these super chats. Diane already answered that one. What did you think of Peyton Riley and Lillian Hackett? Great question. To be totally honest with you, I actually forgot American Idol was even happening last night. We got in this weekend and just got swept up in all the stuff here, was literally going to bed. And my mom was like, hey, 45 minutes into the show, where are you? And I was terrified, and I jumped back on. And so I actually missed all the singers in the first 45 minutes. And then I had to go back on YouTube and watch who I had missed. And unfortunately, I didn't find them on YouTube. So I actually haven't even heard them yet. Stuart used to run a street performer program. That's cool. Let's see. $5 super chat from Adam. We've got 4 minutes left, by the way. So this might be our last one. 2 super chats. All right. We're going to keep it going until we're out of super chats. Maybe a little controversial. Can't wait. But out of the top 5, your season, who do you think should have won talent-wise? Who do I think was the most talented out of my top 5? Do I have to? I gotta exclude myself, obviously, because that's a bias. Excluding myself, because that makes thinking about this way easier. I would say, I've always said I thought Rayvon was the best singer on our season. So I'd say Rayvon. $5 super chat from I Make Content. How do you avoid trying to sound like someone else? Like trying to sound like Brandon Flowers singing a killer song. Listen to a lot of music. There's a book called Steal Like an Artist. I don't like the term steal. It's catchy and it makes people wonder. We have another $5 super chat. Train's still rolling. As soon as we're out of these super chats, it'll probably be time to wrap this thing up. So keep them coming as long as you want me to answer your questions. This book, Steal Like an Artist. Again, don't like the term steal because we don't own any of it. So you can't steal something that is not owned. Says just listen to as much music that you like as possible and continue to listen to music that you like. So if you listen to only the Killers, then you're going to sound like that guy. But if you listen to the Killers and Paolo Nutini and Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles and some of these Idol contestants and John Legend and John Mayer and Lizzie McAlpine, and you fall in love with all of their voices, your voice isn't going to sound like one of them. It's going to be a combination of all of them, which really makes your voice unique and strong. All right, last super chat, $5. When you went back to the Idol Faves show, the last show on Fox, who are some of the contestants you met and really loved or surprised you? Jordan Sparks was really awesome and really nice, and we actually became good friends. Fantasia was a blast. She was very anti, oh, gee golly, wow, you're Fantasia. Hated that. She was just like, stop it, give me a hug. She just wanted to be everybody's homie. And a lot of people knew her, and I've been friends for a long time because the Idol, it really is like a fraternity. She was awesome. She'd just randomly look at me and be like, sing Man's World. And I just start singing the first line. She was a blast. Who else? Those are the two. George Huff. George Huff, a hero of mine and my mom's. He's awesome and is still a friend today. All right, we've got 30 seconds. Do we have another super chat that wants to make me late to this rehearsal, which I'm already a little late, so it's fine. 20 seconds. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being so faithful. There's over 100 of you here. Make sure you, hey, Adam with the $2 super chat, keeping it alive. Thoughts on J Hud? Loved her. She was separate from all of us. I don't even remember her coming. Was she a part of that show? She was a part of it. There were a couple of contestants that were separate from all the rest of us. Catherine McPhee was separate from everybody. Carrie Underwood was separate from everybody. Jennifer Hudson, if she was there, was definitely separated from all of us. So I didn't get to meet her. Okay. Thank you guys again for being faithful and wonderful. You could really help me out if you go back to the video and like it and share it on your social media platforms. It would be super helpful. Stuart does not want to let this go. We got a $5 super chat from Stuart. For the sole purpose of keeping you here, what's the rehearsal for? It is for the River. It's a worship gathering in Canada. It's actually the largest worship gathering in the country. It is started off as the chapel service for Canada Christian College, which is where I'm the dean of music at. Opened it up to the public, and within a year, it became the largest worship gathering in the country. Started with like 30 people come in, and now it's about 2,000, 3,000. So that's what the rehearsal's for. It's every Tuesday night, which is tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Once again, Ashley, you're so late. I always expect you to be the first comment on this, and I was missing you. I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to try to get to the bottom of the Alyssa Ragu, Julia thing. I want to know not only what happened, the unedited version, but how are they doing right now? Now, when I say get to the bottom of it, I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it, but they have to be okay with me talking about what they tell me, or I can't say anything. It's got to be on the record. You know what I mean? And then they got to give me the thumbs up to talk about it, because my relationship with contestants and singers is more important than a scoop. So we'll see. We'll see if I get some information that they're comfortable with sharing. Yeah, I'll see you guys. See you guys soon.